So, this is going to be a video game vlog. I won't promise that it'll be quick, but it will most definitely only solitarily focus on the evil within because Bethesda just came out with some news you can use for people who aren't really familiar with the story. I think I covered that like a while ago. I've been trying to find that because I think there was also a back video game vlog where I gave my wish list of stuff that, even though I was one of those few people who was satisfied with the evil within, I also kind of thought it was weird that they would focus on. Can you stop chiming at me, laptop? Um, I thought it was kind of strange that they would focus on Ruvik story instead of like their whole chapter 9 part was basically just about Ruvik and why his life went to pot. But within even that part, it was also how Sebastian's life fell apart because as soon as you walk into the Victoriano Manor or mansion or whatever, you pick up the newspaper clipping about your daughter Lily dying in a fire, and I was like, why did they put that in a wall of text when it would have so much more power, so much just like grabbing you if you had Sebastian actually going through that. So I've been trying to find that back video game vlog. I can't find it nowhere. I don't know where that's at. I don't even know if I talked about it or if I was just talking to somebody about it. But yeah, I would have loved to have seen that. But Bethesda just came out with some frequently asked questions about the evil within too. So I'm going to try. This is a long. Oh my god, this is long. This is real long. So I'm gonna read, and intermittently I'm gonna grab for my water. You see my water bottle right there? I'm gonna grab for that every now and then because, and y'all know I don't read well. So this is probably gonna go over as much as a lead balloon would. But we're gonna read this because it is pertinent. And when I was reading it, it was hot, and I wanted to share. So, and of course, I'll post a link to this somewhere, but it was hot though. So, off the Bethesda blog, and I'm sorry, somebody's getting their lawn mowed. So if you hear the zzz, I'm also playing ambient noise in the background because earlier people were listening to music, and I know YouTube gets real touchy feely. Oh, copyright infringement. So I'm not trying to hear that bullshit. I already got a one copyright strike because of fucking Kodansha and fucking whatever that vendetta bullshit. So I'm not trying to get another one. So let me read this. You don't need to have any prior knowledge of the evil within the evil within to jump into the evil within too. Well, that was nice for people who were stupid and didn't like it or whatever or didn't play it because it did get a lot of negative press. I'll get into that another day, but whatever. And understand that hold on. You don't need to you don't need any prior knowledge of evil within to jump into evil within 2 and understand the conflict and setting. But if you want a little background info, we got you covered. And so does Achan. At its core, it's about a man fighting his demons, both literally and figuratively, as he journeys into the twisted world to save his daughter. This fact or frequently asked question is designed to catch you up on the story and get you ready for the evil within too. Maybe you need a refresher course on things you may have forgotten since playing the first game and the two main DLCs, the assignment and the consequence, or maybe you haven't had a chance to play anything in that series at all. That's cool too. No, it's not, but they said it's cool. It's not. It's really not. We'll start with the first game, the assignment, the consequence, and then hop into questions about the evil within too. This fact is a living resource for players both new and old, so we will continue updating with more questions as we see them pop up in the community. Okay, within that whole statement, I'm also going to interject, which this is why I didn't promise it would be short, because it's probably not. So I'm also going to add my own interjections as someone who hasn't played the game, because I can't play horror games, I get too scared. As somebody who has watched this series unfold extensively. I watched it yesterday. I watched the entire Sebastian's campaign. I watched that entire thing yesterday. When I was doing my hair yesterday, you see my hair is different. I watched the entire thing. So I'm gonna be adding my 2 cents too. So let's get it popping, people. The Evil Within, the assignment, and the consequence. First things first, who is the guy in all the art for the game? What's his deal? His name is Sebastian Castellanos, and he is a number of deals. Ain't that the truth, Ruth? Former father, former husband, former brilliant detective at Crimson City Police Department, former sane person, current self-loathing alcoholic. Oh, poor baby. When we first meet Sebastian in The Evil Within, he's still a detective, though the rest of his life is in shambles. Y'all ain't lying about the shambles. He is incredibly sharp, but his emotional state is fragile, and he can be found hanging out in bars more often than not. Everything he's seen and done, after everything he's seen and done, that's understandable. He lost his daughter in a tragic fire, or so he's led to believe, but we'll circle back to that, which that's the sequel, but again, they'll circle back and so will I. Lost his marriage, is dragged into the hellish STEM world. That's more than enough to drive anyone a little crazy. First interjection. I just finished writing a fan fiction about, like, stuff about Sebastian and his life prior to The Evil Within 1, and I was thinking as I finished writing it, I'm like, this is a man who lost his home, lost his child within that home, lost his wife, lost his best friend, and ultimately lost his career. At that point, anybody should be sticking a needle in their arm or a gun in their mouth, or at a level with Sebastian doing, a bottle in their mouth. Because seriously, all that was left for him to do was to self-medicate. If he wasn't going to get some counseling, which he needed extensive counseling, the least, like, of it was drinking. Because seriously, anything like that, on, like, a real human being, you would either committed suicide or you would be self-medicating with, like, heavy narcotics. So, yeah, I could see that. But let's get back to this. But the Sebastian you play in the second game is much different from the one in the first game. Sebastian is lost, confused, and just trying to survive the Evil Within. With the Evil Within 2, the world is still a mysterious place, and he's fighting to stay alive, but he now has a purpose. Rather than getting pulled into STEM involuntarily, he's making the active choice to go back. Sebastian is a man on a mission to save his daughter, and he refuses to let anything stand in the way. What is STEM? STEM is an anachronism, but they never tell you what that's an anachronism for, because STEM is always capitalized. Every letter in STEM is capitalized, but they never tell you what it's an anachronism for, but I don't know. But currently under the control of the shadowy organization named Mobius. Oh my god. STEM is a device that allows for a shared consciousness experience. It connects human minds in an alternate world, with one mind being used as a central core building. And that was them with the quotes. That wasn't me with my little stupid ass air quotes. That was actually them. Core building a world, controlling everything in it. Or as writer Trent Haga puts it, STEM is like if Freddy Krueger made the Matrix. That's not nice. When Sebastian is pulled into STEM in the first game, he faces countless horrors in a twisted version of his own hometown, Crimson City. Being tortured and nearly killed in a place that looks even a little like home probably didn't do much help to his mental state after he makes it out of STEM. Y'all ain't lying. For real though. But wait, what is Mobius? Man, fuck Mobius. Mobius is an elusive organization for all intents and purposes in the eyes of the general public, does not exist. There is a laundry list of problems I have with Mobius, but the main laundry list of problems is you gonna get kidnapped and put in this STEM, and you gonna end up dead, and it's just awful. But okay. They seemingly have infinite resources and have even planted one of their own agents in Sebastian's team. When he was a police officer, that's who Julie Kidman was. She was sent by Mobius to be a rookie detective to spy on what KCVD might have on Mobius. You may have seen Mobius logos pop up in a few places. This is the Mobius logo, this whatever this is. You find it in the Evil Within, and when I was watching that like 3 years ago, when I was watching it with my husband and we were watching the end, my husband automatically saw that logo and was like, I don't know that. What is that? Pointing to the Mobius logo, and I was like, I don't know. It's a door, as far as I know. He's like, but what's the logo? I was like, I don't know. And then when Julie Kidman stories came out, I was like, oh, it's the fucking Mobius door. So now every time I see that door when I watch the regular Sebastian's campaign, when the regular Evil Within, I'm like, oh god, the Mobius door. So, but yeah, that's the Mobius, oops, symbol right there. Oh, and side note, you see that long ass like hook looking thing in the star or next to the star or whatever it is? That's that nonsense that's in Julie Kidman's hand, but maybe they'll cover that later. Um, why do they want to use STEM, meaning Mobius? Though their motives remain murky in the first game, the two DLCs, the assignment and consequence, sheds more light on Mobius. They claim their goal is to use STEM to change the world and become humanity's leaders. They believe STEM holds the key to a true peace and order, but they have done little in the series thus far that has been particularly peaceful. Interjection. First of all, because Evil Within 2 is going to revolve around Sebastian trying to save his thought deceased daughter, Lily. And of course, when you see the trailer, you see fucking Stefano gutting the shit out of somebody. And then you see his monstrous creation Obscura, which is the daguerreotype fucking camera. That's part of the problem, Mobius. You hooking kids and fucking murderers. They haven't even gotten to that black dude, because it was like the last black man in town was in the trailer too. And like, y'all hooking kids and murderers, and Theodore looked like some holy roller because he looked like he was in a priest outfit. So you got kids, murderers, and holy rollers, and probably more crazy leftovers from Beacon all connected together. What did you think was going to happen? If you had like a bunch of kids all connected to each other, maybe it would be fine. Maybe if you had a bunch of killers all connected, they could have their own crazy murder world and everybody be happy in that murder world because they all fucked up. You had holy rollers all in one world, then it'd be all like holy rollery and whatever. But you can't be sticking kids, murderers, and holy rollers together. It's not gonna work. So I don't even know what they're trying to do. It's like, can you like segment this shit? Like Mobius, if you're gonna try to do something fucked up, can you at least segment it a bit better instead of like, we just gonna hook all some manner of fucked up people together? It's like, no, can we not, please? Thank you. How did Sebastian get mixed up in all this insanity? Oh god, that was some shit right there. It could simply be boiled down to the case of wrong place at the wrong time. Though in truth, it's decidedly more complicated than that. Sebastian's involvement with Mobius began when his team began investigating a series of missing people at Beacon Mental Hospital, the same hospital Mobius was developing STEM and performing twisted experiments to perfect the device for their own needs. It was actually because of a Mobius agent that had been planted on Sebastian's team that Sebastian was pulled into the STEM at all. Kind of yes to that, kind of no to that, because they were already, from what I could tell, they were already kind of investigating KCPD anyway, because it was like, it wasn't just Sebastian that went missing, it was like another police officer. It wasn't his wife goes missing too, but it's she works for Mobius, we think, because at the end of the consequence, some dude is screaming Myra, and she goes and looks and runs off when she hears that, and it's like, bitch, why are you over there with them? So, I don't know, but it's because there was another police officer, and I saw this yesterday, called Arnold Brown. He went missing. So, they were cutting up for a while. So, I don't know. Who is the agent on the Mobius team, and why is this person the reason Sebastian got involved with the STEM? Julie Kidman. We covered this, but I'll read it real quick. Junior detective Julie Kidman trained and trusted by Sebastian. That's a yes and no question too. There's a journal entry because you pick up his journal entries in the Evil Within, and he says he doesn't trust her, and he has to quote play things close to the vest when she's around because she didn't like he didn't like the way she would be looking when he would do stuff to break a case that was probably a little more on the unethical side than ethical. So he kind of didn't trust her, but then in the consequence, you see a flashback, which I swear to God is Joseph's flashback, not Sebastian's, where Joseph is like, if you want to train her, you could just send her out to go canvassing witnesses and whatever. Don't have her fucking up our investigation, basically. And Sebastian's like, no, she's coming with us. I'm going to train her. She's my responsibility. So when Kidman hears that, she kind of like changes her tune about Sebastian because she just thinks he's like a drunk and kind of an asshole. And Sebastian's kind of an asshole, but he has reasons why he's an asshole. So that's like a one of those sticky wickets, but whatever. Trained to trust. She probably was the last person he might pick for a double agent. She is pulled in the stem alongside Sebastian, but she has her own reasons for being there. Kidman is the protagonist of the assignment in the Consequence DLC. Kidman was sent in the stem to retrieve Leslie. They say someone, but Leslie Ruvik, which Leslie turns into water because Ruvik overtakes him. That's the other thing. It's like Mobius also discovered they could transfer the primary brain into somebody else's body. So they also learned they could do that, and that should probably be addressed at some point, because I was thinking about that yesterday. I was like, yeah, they figured that out too. That should be something that should be addressed, but I don't know if they're going to address it. So let's get back to the topic again. Sebastian was caught in the wake of her, was caught in her wake and used as a test subject in the Mobius world, a sort of scientific collateral damage. Mastermanos. So is Julie Kidman a bad guy? Kidman is complicated. She may have come across as something villainous, something of a villainous figure in the first game. Not really. She's just kind of like shady, but there. But the DLCs have provided a deeper insight into her actions. She joined Mobius after living out a very troubled childhood and underwent intensive indoctrination therapy. They were able to influence her actions throughout the first game via injections they gave her before she went into the stem. You know, the sort of standard stuff, standard evil corporation mind game stuff. You're fuck Mobius. Kidman believes she owes her life to Mobius, even though after learning they lied to her about her role in the organization as an expendable tool rather than a valuable asset. She leaves them at the first game and is still working for them at the start of the sequel. Of course, she has her own reasons for doing so, and they aren't born of limitless trust for the organization. What they said. So now on to the Evil Within 2, and I need a drink because my mouth is getting dry. It's a lot to read. Okay. So now on to the Evil Within 2. How's Sebastian holding up at the start of the game? This is a man who I said previously needs counseling and probably heavy medication. Because somebody, I was reading something, somebody wrote a very good, very extensive analysis of his personality. And it was on fucking point. This was on the Evil Within forum. I read that, I was like, damn, this girl, amen, sister. So, I'm assuming his life is beyond a ditch. It's like, I don't know. The story I wrote, he was living real sad. And like, goddamn, why ain't none of these fan fiction uplifted? Why is every time I write an Evil Within fan fiction, with the exception of that one little Christmas one I wrote that was really self-indulgent, why is it that every last Evil Within fan fiction just leaves me like, why is my life like this? I don't know. Because the story is at its core depressing. So, how's Sebastian holding up? He's alive. I guess there's something, but that might not be such a great thing depending on who you ask. Come on now. He probably doesn't think so. After all the horrible stuff that went down during the events of the first game, returning to the real world should have been a walk in the park for our dear friend Sebastian. But when he tried to get help hunting down Mobius, people refused to believe his story. And just his luck, anyone who might have corroborated it is either dead or missing. How fucking convenient. So now everyone thinks he's crazy, and as a result, Sebastian is out of a job. He got fired from KCPD. Got fired. Years ago, me and my best friend did a movie with a bunch of Barbies, and the woman was like, "You going to leave? My supervisor gonna fire you because of this trash." So then when we did the series, I was like, I thought one doll was like, "I thought you were working somewhere," and the retort is, "I got fired because of y'all trash." Sebastian literally got fired because of Mobius and their trash. So this is horrible. He is. I don't even know. If we catch up with him, it's just gonna be depressing. It's like this poor man. Like I said, this is somebody who probably, if it was real life, would have probably ended their life or at a low been on heavy narcotics. He just is drinking. I could live with drinking. That's like really the least anybody could ask ever going through such torment. So the STEM world in the first game was a messed up version of Crimson City. Is it the same in the Evil Within 2? Nope. This is a completely separate STEM world. Called Union, this uses Lily's mind at the core. Though Lily has gone missing inside STEM. Yes, that Lily, Sebastian's missing daughter. It was assumed that she died, but apparently they staged her death, took Sebastian and Myra's child, and made her run the STEM. Thanks, Mobius. This is a bang up job, y'all. Cue Sebastian being sent in to locate her and pull her out. Whereas previous STEM world was familiar despite it being an incredibly warped version of Crimson City, Sebastian has no knowledge of Union. Union was intended to look like an idyllic small town USA. But the road to hell is paved with Mobius intentions, and something horrible is happening in Union, causing it to tear itself apart. Again, you sticking murderers, kids, and holy rollers into something. You need to segment this trash. STEM world require a core to exist, and with Lily missing inside the STEM world, it is beginning to deteriorate. As her mind falls apart, so does Union. Goodbye, Pleasantville. Hello, Amityville. Y'all know what? Will I see any familiar characters in the sequel? Kidman is a huge part of the story, obviously, but as mentioned above, it is a separate STEM world than that of the first game. STEM worlds are built using the core's own memories, and Union was built using the mind of a little girl who has no knowledge or memories of the events that transpired in the first game. Okay, that would be kind of cool. You're going to encounter mostly a new cast of characters, each with their own reasons for being in STEM. Murderers and holy rollers, and probably crazy people. Y'all need to get your shit together. Mobius, god damn it. So does it mean there are other people in STEM with Sebastian? Sebastian is Mobius' last choice to send in the Union. Other agents were sent in before Sebastian, though we can pretty much assume that they didn't have a lot of luck. After these agents start going missing, Mobius realizes Sebastian might be their only hope of saving Union from collapse. What the fuck are you... Alright. Trying to save Mobius, damn it! Sebastian doesn't care about Union. He only cares about saving Lily. And rightly so, because... Fucking Mobius, man. But the deterioration of the world forces him to race into a race against time as he fights to find his daughter before her mind is lost in the STEM. By the time Sebastian arrives in Union, the city is crumbling and Mobius' team has been scattered to the wind. Sebastian can run into them as he explores the world and providing they're still alive. Oh my god. They can offer side quests that lead to new weapons, resource stashes, or information. This is probably in the E3 trailer where you first see Stefano and the camera flashes and it has that appreciate the art and blood, and you see him gut some dude with a rifle. That was probably one of the people sent in by Mobius. So that took care of that damn fool. So there's no information coming from that. So I don't even know. Oh, we're at the last paragraph. Unlike the first, what is Julie Kidman's role this time around? Unlike the first game, she hasn't actually traveled into STEM with Sebastian, but he can still stay in contact with her via the communicator device. That's that thing you see in the story trailer where she's like, Sebastian, can you hear me? It's like a big ass walkie talkie. That's what the communicator device is. In addition to being a vital link to the real world, Kidman will provide. That's probably necessary because Mobius probably figured out that you can't just send somebody into some fucked upness and not have them some kind of way tethered to reality, because that's how people go nutsoid. But whatever. In addition to being a vital link to the real world, Kidman will provide Sebastian with information about Union, Lily, and other Mobius agents. Do you have questions about the story that we didn't answer? Reach out to @TheEvilWithin on Twitter, and we might add your question to the list. I don't have any questions, and I'm willing to wait, but I'm saying no. You linking kids and killers and holy rollers and fucking crazy people and all kinds of insanity. You need to segment. Mobius, this might work for you if you got your shit together and you segment it and stop trying to clump everybody into a clump. So, I don't know. But like I said, they also figured out they could link, like, the core brain. It's supposed to be they chop you up and just stick your brain in there and, like, I guess they throw your body into the garbage. Because that's what Ruvik was talking about when you go in the beginning of chapter. He was like, chapter 15, he was like, I felt every, like, the sedative they used on me must have been my own. I always say Ruvik Special Blend. And I could feel every slice as they peeled away nerve endings and stuff and stuck my brain into that glass case. So I guess they're not going to do that because she is a little kid. So my thing is this: if it were real life, they kidnapped Lily at 5. So emotionally, she hasn't had any life experience. I mean, you're a little kid, but you have life experiences even as a little kid. So she probably emotionally and mentally is still 5 years old. Sebastian's life has been ruined completely and utterly. He's all fucked up. So even if and or when you get Lily back, you're not the same person you were when she died. So everybody's gonna be kind of fucked up in this situation. But I'm sure they'll put like a happy spin on it. But I'm saying no. It should still be some fucked upness. And can you really honestly trust Mobius to make good on a promise? Oh, we'll give you your kid back, but somebody getting trapped in the stem at the end. Somebody getting fucked up. So I don't even know. But it's looking hot. So we have some release dates. Of course, the US version or the North American version is coming out Friday, October 13th. Yay! And I just saw yesterday, in Japan, Psycho Breaku 2 or Psycho Breaku Ni is coming out Thursday. Wait a minute, hang on. I actually gotta look at my Twitter. I think it's Thursday, October 19th. But let me do this and I can tell y'all. I'm pretty certain it was the 19th of October. Come on. Yep, Thursday, October 19th is when Psycho Breaku Ni or Psycho Breaku 2 comes out. Or Psycho Break 2. Psycho Breaku. I do call it Psycho Breaku because I'm sure that's how it's pronounced in Japanese. Psycho Breaku Ni 2. So, there's your information. That's all I have. And it's going to be hot. I'm still looking forward to it. Real quick side note because it's almost a half an hour in. People were complaining that there's going to be side quests and side missions that aren't as frenetic as the main game with all the monsters and all the horror. I'm still looking forward to that. I still think that's a great idea. I think it'll give it a little bit of a different flavor. So I don't know why people are so worried about this. People, calm the fuck down. It is done by, I'm sorry I mispronounced his name, John Jonasis. So John Jonasis is the guy who did Julie Kidman's games, those DLCs. You know what you're going to get. Will you please calm the fuck down and chill out, because it's still going to be hot. So stop worrying, stop fretting. Genesis, he got this. He got this. He just need to come and be like, I got this. So, and I know he's got this, because it was that trailer. My jaw hit the damn floor when I saw it, and I didn't even know Shinji hadn't directed it. He's the executive producer. It's under his umbrella. No pun intended, but it's under his umbrella. It's gonna be fine. Chill the fuck out. So that's all I have, and I will see y'all next time. Later.